Tonight on Pittsburgh Passion Television, the Pittsburgh Passion capped the lid on the 2018 regular season at home against the Cleveland Fusion here at Joe P. DeMcKellar Stadium. Hi everybody, I'm Matt Fargo, joined alongside former Pittsburgh Passion star Jen Cairns as we get set for the regular season finale. It's Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and of course, a rivalry game. When you say Cleveland and Pittsburgh and it's football, not much needs to be said, but there's even more of a reason to be excited here if you're a Pittsburgh Passion fan. It is the 150th game in franchise history here tonight.
It's hard to believe when we started 16 years ago that we'd even be playing this long, let alone 150 games. 115 of those being wins for the Pittsburgh Passion.
Yeah, it's been impressive, and of course they're looking and eyeing up the 2018 playoffs, but of course it got to be finished here tonight. Jen, who are you looking for to make an impact for the Passion in their final regular season game?
Yeah, I mean, this game matters. I mean, because the Massey ratings are so tight, we've got to look at that Passion defense to get a shutout again tonight. And in particular, we're going to look at a very special lady today, a birthday girl, number 36 linebacker Hannah Damon. She's one of the leading tacklers for the Pittsburgh Passion with 23 solo thus far this season and 2 INTs.
Pretty impressive indeed. We'll have to look on Hannah to be celebrating in multiple ways with this Pittsburgh Passion defense here tonight. Let's take a look at the UPMC Sports Medicine keys to victory. How are we going to get a win here tonight?
The way the Passion are going to get a win tonight, and it's one they should walk away with, but it's a very important win. They've got to get it done by scoring often and holding that goose egg on the playboard. Not because they don't want to feather in new players and new numbers here and there in front of this home crowd, but because they are just behind the DC defense in the Massey ratings and they want to have home field advantage. So it's big. They need to come out powerful, fast from the get-go and dust off any cobwebs that may have come on for the week of rest and the bye week.
Yeah, coming off of that loss to the DC Divas 2 weeks ago. A lot to look forward here tonight, and of course, the Passion eyeing up their 150th game, but maybe their 47th all-time shutout. Could that happen tonight? Well, we're going to have to wait and find out as our player interview when we come back here on the Pittsburgh Passion Television Network. At our pregame interview here at West Allegheny High School, getting set for Pittsburgh and Cleveland in the regular season finale. Our pregame interview brought to you by the Health Pyramid Longevity and Vitality Center, and it's the birthday girl, Hannah Damon, joining us here. And Hannah getting ready to finish out the regular season at home, off on the right note against Cleveland, a big rivalry. Excited for this one, you have to be.
Yeah, I am very excited for this game. We have our defense is all set up, and our offense has been working to get our pace back up and back up to speed where we've been, where we want to be to continue to go through the playoffs and get to the championship.
We talked about in the pregame how we need to shake off the rust of the bye week and get ready for a game that really matters in the playoff scenario. Talk to us about how you prepared for today.
Well, we watched a lot of film. We watched up on the Cleveland offense, Cleveland defense, and especially the techniques that we need to run through for their personnel packages. And we've taken our rest days, and we're ready to work today.
Do you enjoy having the extra week off going into the last week of the season, or would you have rather played last week?
Honestly, I'd rather play every week. It's a lot of fun for me, so it's a lot of fun to be flying around and tackling people, catching picks. So hopefully get a pick 6 tonight and bring it back for the win.
So what does it mean to play in front of the home crowd, and what are you fighting out there to bring a home playoff game next week?
Well, it's always good to give the home crowd a good show, and always good to get a win. Trying to get to the playoffs, every week, just got to get past the next game. Only worry about 1 week at a time. So it's a lot of fun to just prepare with your teammates and be ready to fly around with them.
Well, hopefully Hannah's not only celebrating her 21st birthday, but a Passion victory after...
And third INT. We're looking for
third INT when we start this one off. It's the Passion in Cleveland coming up next on Pittsburgh Passion Television. And we'll welcome you back to West Allegheny High School, where it is the Pittsburgh Passion against the Cleveland Fusion in the regular season finale here in West Allegheny. And back again with Jen Cairns, Matt Fargo with you, bringing you the 150th game in Pittsburgh Passion history. And boy, I mean, we said it during the pregame, Jen, but it's still so cool to say 150 games, and the record that makes up that 150 games is even more impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, being part of that first team year one, and the record not being so hot that year, to now know that they have 115 wins under their belt in 150 games is something to be incredibly proud of.
Yeah, no question about that. It is the Cleveland Fusion in Pittsburgh as they meet at center field as Cleveland and Pittsburgh do battle, and Pittsburgh has the edge, if you will, in this series. They've won the last 9 straight. They are 9-3 overall in the Cleveland-Pittsburgh rivalry, and that's similar to the NFL version of the Cleveland-Pittsburgh rivalry.
You know, we like to keep it the same. You know, our Rust Belt sister from Ohio.
Well, this Cleveland Fusion team has one more win than their male counterparts did a season ago, winning over the Riptide a few weeks ago. But Cleveland makes the trip down here to Pittsburgh, and they have deferred to the second half, which means the Pittsburgh Passion offense will get the first touch of the football. And maybe one of the other storylines we haven't touched on yet, Jen, is the Passion are going to be without the services of Lisa Horton. A knee injury will sideline her, and it will be Ebony Montgomery that has the big shoes to fill. Talking about those 150 games, a lot of them, it's been 14 at the helm.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa Horton has shouldered the weight and lion's share of a lot of those 115 wins. Today she's on the sideline. She'll be coaching another skill set that she has that you're probably not surprised to learn about. But she is a consummate team player, and she'll be cheering her teammates and coaching them from the sidelines, hopefully, you know, to a win and a playoff home game in a few weeks here.
Yeah, a lot on the line. We mentioned it during the pregame. There is a lot to play for. The Passion still battling it out for what would be a home playoff game in 2 weeks. The Division Tier 1 in the league will all get bye weeks next week, and then it would be 2 weeks from now, that possible game. And what a turnout so far as fans still continue to file in here to Joe P. DiMichele Stadium in West Allegheny, and a good turnout. It's YMCA night, youth sports night, and they got YMCA playing in the background. Good atmosphere.
It's hard to keep the hands down when that song is on. You know, right behind Lisa Horton and how we've secured 115 of those wins are these fans. I mean, there's nothing better than playing at home. That's why I asked Hannah Damon the question. I mean, you go on the road because you have to, but no other environment is like the Passion environment. So thank you, fans.
Stacy Messner will have this one teed up for the Fusion, and the Pittsburgh Passion back to receive. Baker is back for the Passion, and she will await this and catch it on the hop at the 21-yard line, across the 25 to the far side 30, 35 across the 40, and still going up just shy of the 45-yard line for Angela Baker, as the Pittsburgh Passion offense will have good field position to start tonight's ball game.
And that's always dangerous to give to this high-powered Passion offense. And although Lisa Horton is not under center, very capable leader is, and I imagine she will do everything in her power to capitalize on this field position.
Well, she has 10 touchdowns thrown this year, 770 yards. She's completed 42 of her 56 passes at 75%. Pretty good. I'm not a math major by any stretch, but we'll have to check out how Montgomery does from the pistol formation. We'll turn around and hand it off the left side, and getting bogged down quickly. The Cleveland defense slicing it and getting Kia Foster. Foster, a brunt of the carries for this Pittsburgh Passion team, but she will get back to the original line of scrimmage, no gain.
And looks like it was number 55, Amber Kirby, linebacker for the Fusion, who brought her down.
And they're going to give her a loss of one, so it's second down at 11. Motion is Baker in jet motion. A little bit of a misdirection play, or miscommunication rather, as Foster inevitably got the handoff and worked back to the original line of scrimmage. Couldn't find a lot of room there as the quarterback ball carrier exchange was a little bit miscommunicated there.
And it almost looks like it was number 91 defensive linewoman Caprita Bell who stuffed that hole quickly negating any forward progress.
So Montgomery looks here to the near sideline, and she's getting the calls from Lisa Horton. And Montgomery faced with their first third down and long here. 4 wide receivers set for the pistol formation. Foster moves to the sidecar. High snap pulled down by Montgomery, rolling out to her right. She'll throw that way, and the pass is overthrown, incomplete. And her intended receiver, Baker, had fallen down on the play, and it brings up 4th down for Pittsburgh.
Angela Baker was in some good combat ham fighting there with the Fusion secondary and not able to escape her, and eventually just got knocked off her route. Kia.
4th down for Pittsburgh, and punt unit out. Special teams has been quite special this year for Pittsburgh, changing that field position.
Meister will punt.
Meister back to punt for Pittsburgh. Left foot will bounce, and this is going to take a Pittsburgh roll. And boy, talking about tilting field position, as this is going to be inside the 10 and down at the 8-yard line by the Pittsburgh special teams unit. Nicely done.
And I imagine number 17, Yaja Brokaw, is getting a mouthful by her coaches for letting that one go. It was a catchable ball, but it took a very favorable pass and bounce, and the Fusion offense are pinned deep against their end zone.
First quarter is brought to you by Aid Nation. Wake up Pittsburgh and hydrate. You're on Pittsburgh Passion Television.
50-yard punt. First down.
Officially a 50-yard punt. We'll put it at a first down and 10 for Cleveland as their offense trots out onto the field against this stingy Pittsburgh defense.
Number 1, Sydney Reardon.
Reardon was the quarterback of 5'8" out of Fairview Park, Ohio. Will get the snap and hand it off the left side. And collapsing right up into the middle, it was Connor who came up and laid the lick for Pittsburgh. And will pick up 3 yards for the ball carrier. That was Stacy Messner on the carry. Bring up a second down and 7 for the Fusion. Reardon from the shotgun once again. Sidecar to her right. And she'll turn it around and hand it off again. It's AC Chambers on the carry this time out of Kent, Ohio. Chambers only picks up about 1.5 yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Third down.
Looked like Connor got her second tackle in a row.
Connor doing a good job for the Passion defense in this first series.
Third down and 5 from the Cleveland 13. Shotgun for Reardon. And she'll go back to pass. Looks right, throws that way, and it is just out of the grasp of the intended receiver here on the near sideline, intended for Nija Brokaw. And it will be 4th down, and Pittsburgh defense holds serve, and special teams units take the field for both sides.
And it looked like Devon Connor was out in coverage in the flat there as well.
Catherine Green will punt for the Fusion.
Out of Robert Morris University is Connor, making big plays on defense on that series. This one takes a bounce and will be picked up on the roll here on the near side. It's trying to reverse field. Gabby O'Neill, and O'Neill's going back the other way and cannot break that lateral movement and get upfield. And this time Cleveland able to trace her down back at the 50-yard line. So had the Pittsburgh 40 and ended up going back to the 50.
Yeah, I mean, Gabby O'Neill has a lot of speed, but in that scenario, north-south, 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 applaud the effort, but a 10-yard loss on the play from where she caught the ball.
First down, Passion at the 50-yard line.
So Pittsburgh back to work offensively after punting the football in their first possession. Montgomery back to work with the Pittsburgh offense. First down and 10 from the midfield stripe. 11:05 to go here in the first quarter. Left to right motion. Montgomery hands it off, and knows she's going to keep it on a quarterback keeper option play. And Montgomery shows her elusiveness as she slips and slides her way to the 41-yard line and a pickup of 9 on first down.
Montgomery having a read option there and liking what she sees, decides to call her own number and scoot right through that hole.
Second down and 1 into Cleveland territory for the first time today is Pittsburgh. And it's Foster getting the carry off the left side.
Foster, no gain.
She stopped right back at that 41-yard line, and this defensive front for Cleveland being stingy so far.
Kia Foster coming into this game had 172 yards on 43 carries, 4 touchdowns.
Baker goes in motion left to right, and this one is knocked out of the atmosphere nicely. Veronica Rucker knocked that one out of the atmosphere, and it looked like they were trying to hook up with Baker, who was in motion there, but it will be 4th down and 1. Quickly back to the line is Montgomery. They look back here to the near sideline, checking on calls from Lisa Horton. Fourth and 1, the Passion going for it. Send a motion man and then hand it off. It's a first down for Pittsburgh as Foster picks it up and picks up more inside the 35-yard line of Cleveland and down to the 33-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh Passion first down, most importantly.
Cleveland's front line playing aggressive, and that time the Passion offense showing them they're willing to take risks and play equally as aggressive, and that time it paid off.
Quickly to the line is Pittsburgh, first down and 10 from the Cleveland 33-yard line. Montgomery barks out the signals and will turn it on and hand it off to Foster again. Will try to get the corner, breaks a tackle, and now finally gets spun down by the onslaught of Fusion players that come back down to get Foster, and it's Johnson who finishes off the job as it will be a 1-yard pickup for Foster.
Foster doing a good job keeping her legs moving, bouncing off the first tackler, Amber Kirby, but not able to fully escape.
Pitch play to the right side, and being tossed down just shy of the 30 is Gabby O'Neill. And again, Johnson comes in to make the stop for Cleveland, and it will be 3rd down, and Pittsburgh not able to get that corner to spring O'Neill loose. Third down, and they'll call it 8 from the 31. Montgomery gets the snap, rolls out to her left, being pressured, will throw, completes her pass on the near sideline to Angela Baker. Baker hauls it in, moves the sticks. They needed 8, they got 10, and it's a Pittsburgh Passion first down at the 22-yard line.
And you weren't quite sure whether Montgomery could feel the breath of the Fusion player trailing behind her, but she gets that pass off just in time to Baker.
And that is really tough to roll here to that near side and try to get your body straight to be able to throw on target when you're being pressured like that. Kozo goes in motion. She's going to get the carry off the right side. Kozo got the corner. A flag comes flying in as she navigates around players, and it's finally shoved out of bounds short of the sticks, about an 8-yard gain. But our first yellow handkerchief of the evening is on the field from referee Jerry Lavelle.
On the play, we have a hold. Number 8, Pittsburgh. 10 yards from the flag. Keep first down.
So, in the area of holding, and it is holding on Pittsburgh, that will negate this play.
That holds on number 8, Sharon Vasquez, who's notoriously tough at both the corner and wide receiver position. Knows how to break a block and deliver one. That time just got too much of the jersey in her hand.
Montgomery gets the snap, looks to her left, has pressure, is hit as she throws. The ball's in the air. It's caught by Angela Baker, and she's into the end zone for the Pittsburgh Passion touchdown. Angela Baker hauls in the touchdown pass. Her 50th touchdown as a member of the Pittsburgh Passion.
Very risky situation there, as she lets go of the ball as she's being hit. Just lucky for her, Angela Baker never took her eye off it, went up to the air, brought it down, and was able to find the end zone.
"23 yards on the pass and catch. Montgomery to Baker. Kristen Green on for the point after touchdown. Snap, hold, and kick are all good. 7:23 to play here in the first quarter. The Pittsburgh Passion are on the board against their foes from Erie in the Cleveland Fusion. It's 7-0, Pittsburgh leading over Cleveland. As the Passion take advantage of some good field position and are able to track down the field. And you said it, Jen, maybe a luck ball there, throwing that one up, and Baker ended up coming down on one of those 50-50 balls.
Those happen in games just like the other bad bounces, and so we'll take that one.
And I mentioned 50th touchdown for Angela Baker. She joins Lisa Horton and Rachel Wadowski in that category. And the celebration of something to do with the number 50, whether it be 150 or 50, they continue here today.
Maybe we need to grab a Powerball on the way home.
Kicking off, number 47, Kristen Green.
Pittsburgh Passion football brought to you by Silver Sport, keeping sports clean. And of course, the Silver Sport Silver Zone, which Passion did not score from. They were just outside, knocking on the door. And this one on a bounce. Fielded it, oh my goodness. Leveled inside the 30-yard line.
Gardner on the return. No yardage on the return. Push down.
And Cleveland will come back out. I'm trying to grab a jersey number.
I'm thinking that might have been Gabby O'Neill.
Well, she's known for laying the licks on special teams, so go with that, as it's going to be 1st and 10 for Cleveland at the 30-yard line. And it's kind of funny, Cleveland got yelled at there for that, not touching that bouncing ball on that punt, and got definitely paid for it on that one.
And I'm sure they've watched enough film on Pittsburgh that's going through their heads as they start to look up and whether I'm going to catch this or let this ball go.
First down and 10 for Cleveland. They go back to work. Reardon, the quarterback, will hand it off the left side, and Pittsburgh is there. AC Chambers on the carry, and she is quickly brought down by a host of black and gold.
Yeah, name a number that's out there, and they were in on that tackle. Zabovic being the first to get there.
I was looking, Caitlin Niedermeyer leads the team in tackles with 43 coming into this game.
She also has 2 sacks on the season, so I'm sure she's chomping at the bit to add to that tally.
Absolutely. Talked to her last home game here on Passion Television. 2nd down and 9 for Cleveland. Reardon will roll out here to the near side, a little bit of protection. Going to think about running as the protection breaks down, and boy does it break down. As Reardon brought down.
Met by Damon first, then Niedermeyer next. It's not a tandem you want to be met by.
Absolutely not. It's a 4-yard pickup, and I think Reardon came out hoping that she was going to see a possible receiver open, and she did not. Picks up the hard-earned 4 yards, and it's 3rd down for the Fusion. 3rd down and 6 from the 34-yard line. Reardon from that pistol formation will get the snap. Look to her left, look to her right, nobody's open, and down she goes! She is sacked on the play.
It's our girl. girl.
Caitlin Niedermeyer, give her 3rd sack. Collapsing in on Reardon and forcing a 4th down play.
She was not to be denied. She kept coming and coming hard, and she just got that arm out around the leg and earns her 3rd sack for the season.
4th down and 12, punt unit on for both squads. O'Neill and Baker back to receive. A high snap there. And this one, Whirlybirds their way, and it's Baker on the reception at the 47 and is tossed down in Cleveland territory at the 40-yard line. That's where Pittsburgh will have great field position to start their 3rd possession of this ballgame. 4:55 to play in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Pittsburgh.
First down at the 40-yard line.
First quarter brought to you by Aid Nation. Wake up Pittsburgh and hydrate. Aid Nation bringing you the first quarter all year long.
15th career sack for
You're on Passion Television. First down and 10. Montgomery rolls out to her right. Will put it up into the air again. And it's Baker who comes down with it inside the 10-yard line. It's Angela Baker into the Silver Sports Silver Zone in a 1st and goal Pittsburgh. Similar to that touchdown play, Jen.
Yeah, and the coverage on the play, she just got a step on the defensive back, and the defensive back just can't do anything to risk turning around for the ball. Had no clue it was in the air, just trying to chase Baker and making it an easy catch.
First down and goal for Pittsburgh. Marker down at the 9. Motion is Baker. Rolling out is Montgomery. Here to the near side. Montgomery looks like she's going to take it herself, but just can't get the corner and is shoved out of bounds. And they'll mark her down at the 7-yard line, so give her 3 on the quarterback keeper. Be second down and goal for Pittsburgh, looking to add to their 7-0 lead here.
Second down and goal.
Motion is Kozo left to right. Montgomery gets the snap, throws. Kozo! Oh, just so close. It was a split-second play, and maybe a second later, Kozo would have been able to make that catch, but it falls incomplete. It will be 3rd and goal for Pittsburgh now.
It looked as though Kozo had just turned her head around, but not yet had her eyes spot the ball. Was athletic enough to get her hands on it, but not in a place that allowed her to reel it in.
So 3rd down and 7 for Pittsburgh. 3rd and goal from the 7. Montgomery gets the snap. Fade route into the end zone. And it's caught by Sharon Vasquez, but they say she was out of bounds. Incomplete. Vasquez did not get her feet down according to the official. And it's incomplete.
And I hope they go right back to it, because if you look at the way that the Fusion defensive back is just meandering in, body language says it all. Sharon would be able to get open for that fade again.
Yeah, she was wide open on that play, but just couldn't get the feet down. And 4th down and goal, a big 4th down here. Montgomery rolling out to the right, throwing on the pop pass. It's Angela Baker who makes the catch for the Pittsburgh Passion touchdown. Montgomery to Baker from 7 away for the Passion touchdown.
Montgomery to Baker from 7. First kick.
in every game except last week when we played DC, she had 2 touchdowns. 2 receiving touchdowns, even this game. But against DC, she had 2 interceptions. I don't know how you want to phrase that.
Extra point coming on. Green sends it through the poles and good. 3:21 to play here in the first quarter. And the Pittsburgh Passion add to their lead. It is 14-0 over the Cleveland Fusion. Passion are rolling here at West Allegheny in front of the home fans. We'll take a break. You're listening and watching Pittsburgh Passion Television.
The referee is Gary Lavelle. The umpire is Dave Stroffman. The head linesman is Bill Schottenheimer. The linesman, Ralph Lindsay. And the back judge is Dave Berry. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to point out that Gary Lavelle and Dave Berry mark their 16th year together of working as a referee for the Passion. Congratulations, Gary Lavelle and Dave Berry. Kirsten Green will kick off.
Kristen Green has this one teed up as we welcome you back here to West Allegheny High School, where the Passion have a 14-0 lead over the Cleveland Fusion. Montgomery to Baker. It's like Groundhog Day so far here in the first quarter. Kicks away and muffed and picked back up. And the Pittsburgh Passion Special Teams unit is all over it. That was Gardner on the return there for Cleveland, but it wasn't much of one after the muff got sent back behind her own 20-yard line before the Passion were able to put an end to the return.
At the break, we celebrated the long tenure of two of our refs, Jerry Lavelle and Dave Berry. They've become like family to the Passion players. So much so when you're on the field and you've done something, they'll say, "Now, Jen, that was interference," and you just kind of nod. But we want to thank them for all their service over the years. They've been tremendous on and off the field.
Yeah, it becomes working these summer games. Of course, they part of the high school and college crews as well, so they almost have like a full-time gig doing all these games.
They are busy, busy guys. I'm not jealous.
And off there to Chambers, picks up just one at 2nd down and 9 here for Cleveland. And Cleveland's kept it between the tackles so far, Jen, and haven't really had those splash plays to bust something loose. And every time they've ran out Reardon, she's been met by one of the Pittsburgh Passion defenders pretty quickly.
They have the size to match up with the Pittsburgh Passion, but they just don't have the speed. And so that's why they cannot shake anything loose.
Reardon awaits the snap on a 2nd down and 9 play. We'll pitch it here to the right side. And the near side, weaving her way through defenders, is A.C. Chambers. Chambers gets up to the 25-yard line, picks up 4 yards. 3rd down upcoming. Niedermeyer gets credit for the tackle.
Niedermeyer had some help there by Tia Montgomery and Hannah Damon as well.
It's just so fun to watch this Pittsburgh Passion defense. The offense puts up the points and they're flashy whether they're passing or running, but I just love watching this defense play. They're so quick, they're so fast, and they're just tenacious to the football. On a 3rd down and 4 play from the 25-yard line. Will throw it and be short of her intended receiver. Trying to hook up there was Reardon, trying to get it to Gardner. And it will be 4th down. Special teams unit looks like it's coming onto the field for the Fusion at the 1:30 mark here in the first quarter.
Gardner certainly had some green space in which she could work. It's just Reardon didn't have the arm to get it to her.
Keep to receive, O'Neal. Baker.
Special teams out. Catherine Green out to punt for Cleveland. O'Neal and Baker back to receive it. Punts away, Baker awaits. And we're on the return. Here's Baker. Shaking and baking here down the near sideline and finally shoved out of bounds. Another nice return, and then a late flag is thrown. We'll check that before we see where Pittsburgh will begin this offensive series.
Baker got a nice block by her counterpart, number 55, Devon Connor, who was trying to take some of the chasers out of the mix as Baker stepped and danced through a lot of traffic.
Get the call from Jerry Lavelle, 15-yard late hit on Pittsburgh. That will move them back 15 yards. And Pittsburgh will start just in their own territory at the 47-yard line. 1:21 to go here in quarter number 1.
First down for the Passion. And it's on 47-yard line.
Back to work goes the Passion offense. Montgomery back to pass. Will put it up into the air and overshoot our intended receivers. Not sure if she was trying to hook up with Crystal Kozo or Annette Rodriguez. One of the two was intended. Bring up second down.
Annette Rodriguez is out of Frederick, Maryland, currently at Grove City College, so she's probably a little happy that she's got some extra free time on her hands right now.
And up right up the middle, it's Kia Foster. Foster to the 49-yard line. Rucker gets credit for the stop, and it's going to be third down upcoming for Pittsburgh. And 8 from that 49-yard line, just shy of that midfield stripe. Montgomery moves Foster to the side, Carter right in the 4-wide set. Montgomery rolls out to the right side. Pressure barreling down. Coming back to the football as Vasquez to the far sideline will haul the pass. It will be short of the sticks. But a great play by Sharon to come back to the football there.
Sharon's got amazing field awareness, and she's a quarterback's dream in order to find, make herself open in space. And so she knew what she needed to do to come back for that ball, and great job, Sharon.
Fourth down, Pittsburgh will go for it.
4th and 5.
Baker goes in motion right to left. And she'll get the catch on the screen play here to the near side. And Baker makes the elusive move that will spring her free for the Pittsburgh Passion first down. And the Passion moved the sticks, and that's the way that we will end the first quarter of play, as we'll flip sides with the Passion still maintaining possession of the football.
We have a Triple Crown winner.
1 quarter in the books. We have that goose egg on the scoreboard. We've got 14 points on the other side. You know, we got to work our way to that sort of 40 mark in order to help us in the Massey ratings here tonight.
It's all looking good after 1 quarter of play here from West Allegheny. Pittsburgh 14, Cleveland nothing. Come back with us for quarter number 2 on the Pittsburgh Passion Television Network.
Also tonight, Alumni Night. All former alumni players, coaches, and staff members will be invited down to the field at halftime for a group family picture that'll be at halftime for all Passion alumni. UPMC Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Pittsburgh Passion. Super Donut, #1 in nutrition, more protein and less fat. The Green Tree Sportsplex and Fitness Center.
Back to West Allegheny High School, 14-0. The Pittsburgh Passion lead it over the Cleveland Fusion. And Pittsburgh Passion football, second quarter is brought to you by the Green Tree Sportsplex and Fitness Center. As we welcome you back alongside Jen Cairns, Matt Fargo, bringing you the action here this evening in the first play of the second quarter. In and out of the hands of Sharon Vasquez here on the near side. And Jen, I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, and wide open, and I think, she realized how much open space she had. There wasn't a defender in sight, and it was one of those kind of pitch-catch scenarios that...
Thinking about running before you catch it.
Right. She wants that back for sure.
Well, the ball sits on that far side on this 2nd down and 10 play, and Montgomery pass underthrown, intended for Kozo, and it will be 3rd down. Jeb, what do you think about Ebony Montgomery's performance through 1 quarter? We talked at the beginning of this game, big shoes to fill without Lisa Horton out there.
She's holding her own out there. I mean, I'm curious what's going on with some of these underthrown balls.
Yeah.
If there's a particular, if she can't see over the size of the line, but she's certainly holding her own. She's got 2 touchdowns under her belt today.
3rd down and 10 from the 38, and it's going to be Montgomery weaving her way through defenders, kind of shoving players out of her way as she's inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Going to be short of the first down sticks. Big 4th down play upcoming.
This Passion offense is not scared to go for it on 4th down against any team, as they've showcased all season. They have such confidence, and they have the ability.
Montgomery will roll here to the near side, throw, complete her pass to Angela Baker, and Baker being grabbed down by the hair inside the 20-yard line. And the Pittsburgh fans don't appreciate that, and it's a Pittsburgh Passion foot first down one way or the other.
Yeah, when we first started, that was a rule. You could not use the ponytail or the hair coming out of the helmet as a vehicle for tackling, and now it's been changed to be an extension of the uniform. But I think it's just as dangerous as a horse collar, so I'm not a big fan of the rule. And then they jumped on top of her helmet and basically planted her head first. They have a reason to be upset in the stands for sure. 1st
down and 10. Montgomery going to let it fly, and Baker couldn't get there, and that would have been the way to make Cleveland unhappy, with Baker catching her 3rd touchdown pass.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was searching and doing her best to try to find the ball in the sky and then adjust to it. It was just, again, an off-thrown ball, a miscue by Montgomery there.
Yeah, I remember in the pro ranks, it was Troy Polamalu that made that kind of a topic of interest throughout football, and yeah, I agree with you. The hair connected to your head, which is connected to your neck, kind of same idea of the course collar there. They're going to call this a live ball, and they're going to say it's a fumble, and Cleveland gets the football. So pressure immediately, and then the ball comes loose, and the Fusion are going to come away with the football here. Big turn of events and a big turnover for Cleveland, who really could not have afforded to give up the score there here early in the 2nd quarter, down by 2 scores. And the ball coming loose out of the hands of Kia Foster. Saw one of the coaches go over to her, and you're going to have a short memory in those types of situations.
Yeah, and you can't retaliate, because there are always those emotions too.
Well, Cleveland goes back to work offensively. So does the Pittsburgh Passion defense. Kelsey Edmonds comes up to lay the lick. It looks like we have an injured Fusion player down. Can't see if that is the ball carrier, which was AC Chambers. It was.
She's not even putting weight on that leg.
Training staff out to attend. And all hope as she gets off the field, trying to put a little bit of weight on it. hope that's not serious. Of course, either side, that's one thing in this realm of football you never want to see on either side.
Post-acute medical, providing high-quality post-acute healthcare services. Second down and 11.
He's second down at 11 for Cleveland. Reardon will go from the pistol and roll out to her right. Pressures all around her. He'll throw it off, and it is intercepted. Rachel Wadowski picks it off on the tip drill, and she's going to try to weave her way through. She's going to be downed inside the Cleveland 30-yard line. Rachel Wadowski comes away with interception, and one turnover deserves another one, Jen.
Exactly. I was just about to say we're starting to see some new numbers out there, Matt. 17 being one of them, but 42, Julie Ionta being another. But she didn't want to wait for me to call her number. She wanted to make a statement all on her own. So great job, Wojo.
Her fourth career interception for Rachel Wadowski. Passion offense, right back to work, almost ironically right where they left off that last drive before turning it over. First down and 10 from that 28-yard line. 12:50 to play here in the second quarter. Passion lead it 14-0. Montgomery from the pistol, 4 wide, back to pass. Will put it up down the far sideline, off the helmet. Incomplete. Pass intended for Rodriguez.
Second down.
It'll be second down. I couldn't see whether or not that hit off of Rodriguez's helmet or the defenders on that far sideline, which was Brokaw.
I mean, it was excellent coverage out there by Brokaw. She turned around. She was able to lean into the receiver and get her arms up to try to deflect. And yeah, you're right. I'm not sure which helmet it bounced off of, but it was a good defensive play.
Montgomery on second down and 10 after that incomplete pass. Going to take it herself on the option play, and Montgomery very close to first down yardage. In fact, I think she does have the sticks by the initial spot. And if she does it one way or the other, it's the Passion are in the Silver Sports Silver Zone, keeping sports clean.
Little misdirection there. The defense totally thought Kia Foster had the ball and allowing Montgomery to just take off left, finding greener pastures.
They will mark her shy of the first down stick, so it's 3rd and 1 from, they'll officially call it the 29. They need the 20, really just past the 28-yard line, short of the 29. On a 3rd down and short, Montgomery will throw, and coming back to the football, no, she couldn't make the catch, was Angela Baker, and that was a tight window to throw it in between two defenders to Baker, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like she had. I thought she had the ball until she hit the ground. So if the ground knocked it loose, or the defender was able to get her hand in there just last split second.
Now it's 4th down and less than a yard. Passion stay in that pistol formation, and lots of movement here. Left side of the Passion line. We'll make it a false start.
Brings up 4th down and 6.
And we'll make it 4th down and 6.
It seems like they called it on 99, Veronica Burris.
Well, now this makes it a little more interesting on 4th down and 6. Now from the 24. Montgomery, little pump fake, will stop and pop into the end zone to Baker. She made the catch for the Pittsburgh Passion touchdown. Angela Baker's 3rd of the day.
I was a little worried about that pass. Again, it's thrown into triple coverage, but Baker comes down with the ball for her 3rd touchdown, adding to that lead for the Pittsburgh Passion.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a throw, and Baker goes and gets it.
On the hole, Evan Montgomery.
Montgomery to Baker for the 3rd time. And it's Green on for the point after touchdown. Extra point, no good. 11:48 to play here in the second quarter, and it's the Pittsburgh Passion 20, the Cleveland Fusion nothing. As the Passion add to that lead on a big fourth down play. That was going to be, they were about to give the ball back to Cleveland, and were able to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, they're always going to keep taking those risks. They know what's on the line for them in the playoff scenarios, and they've got to try and score on every drive. And so they were not to be denied.
Pittsburgh Passion Football is brought to you in part by Super Donuts, #1 in nutrition, more protein, less fat. By Post-Acute Medical, providing high-quality post-acute healthcare services. By B1 Health and Wellness Patch, 100% all-natural B1. By the YMCA of Greater Pittsburgh, be active, be involved, belong. And by the Health Pyramid Longevity and Vitality Center, a natural approach to pain relief.
Green will kick off.
11:48 to play here at West Allegheny. And the Passion ready to send it back the way of the Cleveland offense. Green to boot it away. Fielded here on the near side by Brokaw. And big hit there. As Brokaw gets up to the 35-yard line, and Cleveland back out onto the field.
On the return, Nigel Brokaw.
Jen, what do you think this Cleveland offense trying to find themselves here, and Pittsburgh Passion defense has been able to answer the call no matter what they've decided to do so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough when you're playing a defense as deep and as tightly packed as one unit as they are to try to find those weaknesses, even as they substitute in new numbers. It's a challenge for the Cleveland Fusion for sure.
Reardon will hand it off. New running back in the ball game.
No gain on the play.
This goes, I believe that's Martina Latessa.
Niedermeyer, Damon, team up for the stop.
Martina Latessa is a long-time player for the Cleveland Fusion.
Also on the tackle, 75, Erica Shoecraft.
Of course, she came in for the injured AC Chambers. Pittsburgh jumps, gets back on. Unabated to the quarterback, no call there. They fake the handoff, Reardon keeps it, and Pittsburgh still all over in the backfield. Wadowski and Niedermeyer, it looked like, yep, on the bottom of that bow. That's normally safe to say. You could say that with your eyes closed sometimes.
Yeah. Niedermeyer. That's probably what the orange jerseys are saying in their sleep.
The nightmares.
That's right.
Third down for Cleveland. 3rd and 11. Turned out to be a really nice day here in Imperial. Back to pass is Reardon. Gonna stop and let it fly. Too tall for everybody. Intended receiver, Brokaw, the intended receiver on that play. It goes incomplete, 4th down.
Out on the coverage there was number 9, Rebecca Airgood.
Coverage on the play by Rebecca Airgood.
Bring up 4th down.
4th down.
And a late flag. And it's going to be unsportsmanlike on the Cleveland bench. It seems that's the preliminary call.
Unsportsmanlike, Cleveland, sideline coach. 15 yards.
We mentioned Jerry Lavelle and Dave Berry. The referee is Lavelle, and back judge is Dave Berry. The umpire is Dave Latreffa. Head lineman is Bill Schottenheimer. No word on whether or not he's related to Marty.
Brings the ball back to the 19
And
yard
the linesman Ralph Lindsay. Schottenheimers aren't from Western Pennsylvania, though.
Fourth down.
Possibly.
I'm sure we can Google it. You can find everything on Google
That's
now.
true. I have my encyclopedia in my car.
Punt goes out of bounds.
Punt goes out of bounds down on that far sideline there, and Pittsburgh right back to work with short field. And that's really where Pittsburgh, I feel like this offense benefits so much, is
Down for the Packers.
if they're able to get short field, it just makes their job that much easier.
Yeah, I mean, they've got so many threats and options. They've been, now that Cleveland's been playing both sides of the ball for good parts of half of the game, they're softening up front, which was very aggressive initially, and why the run was not working against them. And now they've started to spread them out with the threat of the air as well. And so the Cleveland defense doesn't have a chance to adjust, it seems.
That's been the scary thing about this Pittsburgh Passion team, even back when you were playing, was the threat of run or pass. If you want to bring a bunch of girls in the box and try to stop the run, they're going to air it out, and you want to try to back everybody off, we're going to smash mouth, pound it right back up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, having a well-balanced team is certainly, critical, and you see those teams that are able to package a few wins that are one dynamic heavy, but if you want to be a true game changer like the Passion are, you got to be balanced.
An option play by Montgomery, and she had the option all the way down the field after breaking one tackle at the line of scrimmage. She picks up 15 at a Pittsburgh Passion first down and knocking on that Silver Zone door at the 22.
She got up a little gingerly there, and then walked back a little slower. So I'm wondering if something got tweaked. We'll have to keep our eye on her.
From that pistol formation, pitch out. Foster, that's still live, and it's still loose. And who's going to come away with this? Pittsburgh, it looks like. I think Foster somehow got the football. She did.
Ball recovered by 34.
Yeah, that was a behind the line of scrimmage pitch, and everybody kind of took that play off there for a second.
Yeah, but then nobody's more motivated than the person who dropped the ball to fight for it back, and so I'm happy to see that Kia Foster came up with it.
Pittsburgh lives to fight another down. Second down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Montgomery back to pass, looks right, looks left, throws that way. It's caught for a Pittsburgh Passion touchdown. And guess who? No, it's Crystal Kozo. Is that who it was that hauled that pass in on that far side?
I think so. I mean, I was saying she's got her options. There are two open black jerseys out there, Crystal Kozo and Angela Baker. Wasn't sure who was going to come down with it, and it looks like it was number 40, Crystal Kozo.
Crystal Kozo holds in her first touchdown of tonight's ball game. And, we were talking about some of those passes by Montgomery. That one beautifully thrown to Crystal Kozo to make that catch.
Yes, indeed.
Extra point this time through the Bulls. 8:43 to play here in second quarter action, and the Pittsburgh Passion have expanded their lead to a 27-0 lead over their rivals from Cleveland.
Very special announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Ron Kahn, the Passion's 50-50 proceeds tonight.
For 1 second, I thought, does she have four? And then that 40 showed up, and sure enough, Crystal Kozo comes away with the touchdown.
All proceeds donated go to Mr. James Carroll in honor.
Pittsburgh Passion football brought to you by the Club Sport and Health. One membership, more options, more fun. By Larry Lint Flooring. We lay only the best. By Propel Schools, inspiring achievement. By Nature's Best CBD. By North Star Restaurant and Bars and Steubenville Pike and Imperial. And by Log Cabin Embroidery. Offers custom embroidery and screen printing services.
Gardner and Brokaw.
Green kicks this one away, and from the 23-yard line, oh boy, trying to pitch this one back, and I think Pittsburgh, no, it's Cleveland who comes away with it. Cleveland trying to pull a trick out of the bag of tricks. And no, we're getting a secondary indication that Pittsburgh has the football. Gabby O'Neill comes out of the scrum with the football. We got two sides,
yeah,
Jen.
they're gonna huddle up on this one. Rock, paper, scissors, maybe. We'll see. Whether she got it or not.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta applaud the effort of Gabby O'Neill of fighting for it until they make the call.
And in this case, after the call.
That too.
Impressive there by Gabby, and almost swayed the vote, but it is stays with Cleveland. That initial call stands. No red handkerchiefs here. No challenges allowed. Although we do have replay. First down and 10 for Cleveland. From that 31-yard line, Reardon will get the snap and hand it off. It's Latessa for a yard pickup. Pittsburgh collapsing down. I thought I saw a new number out there. Julie Ianta on the stop.
Julie Ianta's out there. I think Mia Smith is out there.
Also in the shop, Scoopcraft.
Ashley DeChico here on the near side. Second down and 9 after that 1-yard pickup. Fake it, and the keeper by Reardon. Reardon going to be quickly brought down on the play. Devin Connor out of Bobby Moe makes the stop.
This was stop made by Sharon Vasquez.
Third down upcoming here for this Cleveland offense.
Also on the stop from Chico. Third down and 7.
Third down and 7 from the 34-yard line for Cleveland. Reardon will roll out to the right side. Pressure comes. She's going to take off and run with it and get knocked out of bounds
Knocked out of bounds here, first down
on that
yardage.
far side.
Ball spun at the 41. It'll be fourth, less than a
See who
yard.
pushed her out. I think it might have been
I think it was Mia
Ashanti
Smith.
Smith, yeah. Shoved her out on that far side. Bring up 4th and 1, a yard shy of those sticks. Fourth and 1, the clock winds down towards 6 minutes here in the first half. Second quarter brought to you by Green Tree Sportsplex. And a handoff, and they stopped her. Counter run down Sharon Vasquez. And Connor on the stop that denies the Cleveland Fusion a first down and permits the Pittsburgh Passion offense to come right back on the field.
Connor and Shoecraft. Team for the stop.
Closing the door down again.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Defense is doing what it's got to do, and they're doing it, sprinkling in new players with some vets.
First down at 10 from the 39 for Pittsburgh. Montgomery puts Foster, her sidecar to the right. Kozo in motion, and she's going to get the handoff on the end around the jet sweep here on the near sideline, and then shoved out of bounds by Veronica Rucker. And the jet sweep picks up 2 yards, so it'll be second down at 8 upcoming.
Zubo was trying her hardest to seal that corner for Kozo, just couldn't get in on Rucker. Stretched out the play to the far sideline. Rucker able to push Kozo out of bounds.
Baker goes in motion on that jet motion the other way, and they go right up the middle to Foster, who breaks free, and she breaks another tackle inside the 25-yard line down to the 22. It's a Pittsburgh Passion first down once again, and Cleveland biting on the jet motion. They come right at him. First down and 10 from the 22. Trips go to the far side left. Montgomery fakes the handoff and then will take it herself right up the middle and inside the 20, and that means inside the Silver Sports Silver Zone, keeping sports clean and keeping the Pittsburgh Passion offensive machine chugging.
Gain of 3, second down 7.
Almost every series has been started not too far outside of the Silver Sports Silver Zone, which is always a positive.
Franco, I'm sure, is appreciative. Passion defense setting him up good. High snap, pulled down by Montgomery. Great play, and then trying to make something out of nothing, and she does. Picks up a yard, and really disaster striking there, and Montgomery making sure it doesn't happen by pulling that high snap down.
Yeah, earlier in the season we saw a lot of those high snaps that seemed to have been tamed and under control as the season went on. So let's hope that was just one bobble.
Right. Trips go to the far side left. Montgomery barks out the signals and then checks here the near sideline. Lisa Horton and Kara Prentice directing signals. Montgomery gets the snap, looks left the whole way. Kozo makes the catch, breaks a tackle, sidesteps another one, and is inside the 5-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh Passion first down for Crystal Kozo as they set up inside the Cleveland 5-yard line.
Crystal showing you once again how she is a solid receiver for the Pittsburgh Passion, and then tough to earn those yards after the catch, bouncing off of defender and defender until she's finally brought down just shy of the end zone.
Pittsburgh knocking on the door again. Montgomery moves Foster in motion, sends Kozo in motion, and then rolls out here to the near side, throws into the end zone, incomplete. Sharon Vasquez, the intended receiver in the end zone, and it will be incomplete. Second down and goal upcoming. Second down and goal. It's a keeper by Montgomery trying to get to the pylon. She'll dive into the end zone for the Pittsburgh Passion touchdown. Ebony Montgomery gets into the end zone and expands the Passion lead. A 4-yard touchdown scamper.
Pittsburgh Passion have had a long history of having quarterbacks that are double threats. They're threats with their arms, they're threats with their speed of the legs, and Montgomery showing you right there what she's capable of with those legs.
Prentice will be the long snapper. Montgomery to hold. Green to kick. Another extra point attempt to add it. That is good. So, with a $1:59 to go here in the first half. The Pittsburgh Passion rolling 34-0 over Cleveland here on their regular season finale in front of the home fans. And so far, Jen putting on a great show for them.
They are, they talked to us at the beginning of the game saying, not to run up the score on Cleveland, but they need to at least get 40 points for the Massey ratings and then maybe get some help from the New York Sharks against the DC Divas today. So maybe at halftime we can check what's going on in that game. But they are just shy of meeting that first goal. The second goal, of course, being to pitch a shutout on defense. And right now that defense is looking unflappable.
They certainly are.
Make sure you get those 50-50 tickets tonight. All proceeds.
This second quarter brought to you by the Green Tree Sportsplex and Fitness Center, also by UPMC Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Pittsburgh Passion.
Hot dogs, nachos, cold drinks, great breakfast snacks at the convention.
I mentioned earlier, Jen, good weather here. They had that threat of rain that rolled in a couple hours before kickoff and has kind of cooled things down.
It has. We have a nice little breeze now. It's fantastic. The fans aren't freezing or sweltering. It's an awesome day for football.
And it's certainly showing. It is a packed house here at Joe P. DeMichela Stadium, home of your Pittsburgh Passion. And breaking a tackle there was Brokaw, and then knocked out.
Special team tackle, number 9, Rebecca Airgood.
That was Airgood on the stop there for Pittsburgh.
Down the return, 17, Nigel Brokaw.
Well, we just got the update that the DC New York game is a little bit ahead of ours. They hit half. It's not promising news. DC is leading the New York Sharks 41-0. So very similar to the game we're watching here today.
Certainly. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this playoffs plays out, but DC and Pittsburgh splitting the regular season series, and obviously that also going to who was the home team in that series. So be interesting to see how it plays out. Brokaw gets it on the end around, and Rachel Wadowski will bring her down. There is a flag down,
Nigel Brokaw, the ball carrier.
and that's in the same area of where where Rachel brought her down. It's going to be a face mask penalty on Rachel Wadowski, and the Passion are going to give up a couple chunks of yards here due to that penalty.
Well, all things being equal there, Matt, if it boils down to the head-to-head matchup of which they won one, lost one, they lost in D.C. by more points than they won here in Pittsburgh, and so that favor would land on D.C.'s home turf.
Yeah, and that's kind of frustrating if you're a Pittsburgh fan, because Pittsburgh really had control of that game here in Pittsburgh for much of that game, and the scoring by D.C. was kind of late when the game was salted away at that point.
Yep.
But such is life, and Latesso will get this carry right up the middle and carry it into Pittsburgh territory for the first time for the Fusion. As we come up on a minute to go here before we send it to the break, our post-acute medical halftime report is coming up, and our Super Donut halftime interview. So stay tuned for that. Might be halftime for the ladies on the field, not halftime for us.
No.
We work overtime. Second down and 7. Fake. And then a quarterback keeper, and breaking that one tackle, Reardon there. Able to pick away for 2 or 3 up to the 46-yard line. Vasquez gets credit for the tackle, and it will be third down. Let's see if they want to get another play off here. There's 15 seconds to go.
Looks like they want to. Whether they will,
yeah, it's one of those.
Another question.
I'm going to say no now.
Yeah. I don't think they don't show like they even. Oh, Wasn't quite sure if they even had clock awareness on that. And at first I thought he walked out because he called a timeout, but looks like they did get the
Yeah, they
timeout
did.
in.
That whistle there was about with 2 seconds left. Yep, and they're going to put 2 seconds on. That was the appropriate call there.
Hannah being embarrassed by some of her loved ones in the crowd, singing happy birthday with big fat head signs of her head. But I'm sure those are memories that you will remember and smile about for a long time. Happy birthday, Hannah Damon.
Absolutely.
And it's a big one. It's 21.
That is a big one. What are the plans after the game?
I'm sure there are some. I'm sure, all of us have crossed that milestone, and there were things in the evening.
And I will also say, not everybody gets to do it on a Saturday night either.
That is true.
2 seconds left in the half.
Not fun on a Wednesday. How do you make a Wednesday night?
Yeah.
3rd down and 4 will be the final play of the half, barring a penalty. Reardon will roll out, and it will be underthrown to Brokaw, and that's the way the first half will end. Passion well in front and in control of this one. The Pittsburgh Passion lead at 34-0. And after the NBA Finals not going Cleveland's way, this weekend's not shaping up to be a good weekend to be a Cleveland fan.
No, it is not.
What a great touch.
Well, Pittsburgh has the lead. They're going here coming up. They're going to have a moment of YMCA. I believe something for the YMCA here coming up at halftime. And we come back with our post-acute medical halftime report and our Super Donut halftime interview. All that and more to come. Stick around. It's Pittsburgh Passion football. They lead at 34-0 at the break. Right here on Pittsburgh Passion Television. Stay with us.
Pittsburgh Passion fans, are you ready for second half football?
We get this one back towards, this is a live ball. It's Pittsburgh's ball. It's going to be Pittsburgh's ball at the 30-yard line on a kickoff. It's a live football. You can't advance it. But Pittsburgh's going to get the football at the 30-yard line, Jet. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I haven't seen it either, and I'm very surprised that with some of the veterans that are on the field there for the Cleveland Fusion that somebody didn't start screaming that it's a live ball, but it is what it is, and so they lose their opportunity to start the half with the ball and have so graciously handed it over to the Pittsburgh Passion at their own 30-yard line.
Wow. Well, that's a key to the second half, I would say.
Well, let me get these stats in first
All
because
right.
I think there might be some more coming on the table.
Let's do it.
Offensively, you have Montgomery, 10 of 20, 160 yards, 3 touchdowns. Baker, 107 receptions, 119 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kozo, 2 receptions for 37 yards and a touchdown. And there you go.
Thank you.
I thought we were going to be starting with the defensive stats, but, we adjust.
We do, on the fly here, even on the broadcast. A pitch to Foster. And Foster trying to break a tackle, and she gets down to the 25-yard line for Kia Foster. And it will be a pickup of 5 for this Pittsburgh Passion offense. The scoring, Montgomery to Baker, Montgomery to Baker, Montgomery to Baker, and then Montgomery to Kozo, and then a Montgomery 4-yard run to make it 34-0. Second down and 5, Montgomery will go and overthrow Baker, incomplete. Baker searching for that touchdown number 4. And it's Baker tonight, but this Passion offense, anyone it's just plug and play. It really seems like it as far as this whole Passion unit that, it's such an evenly balanced. The depth, you don't get to see it all the time, but it is so deep.
It's been one of the strongest suits of the Pittsburgh Passion, for the last 16 years. They're just able to groom athlete after athlete, and so that they're primed and ready to come off that bench and contribute in a very meaningful way, and that's what you see time and time again.
Well, I think, Western Pennsylvania grooms its female athletes through the WPIL and an onslaught of sports, and then, if you stay close to home, and you play in the PAC or PAC or PSAC or you're playing anywhere around Pittsburgh, it's a high level of competition, and even if you're coming to the Passion via high school or via college, you're prepared in a lot of ways to be an athlete and be able to play in a variety of positions. Here's Baker getting it on the end around and making up a lot of lost yards. It will be first down for Cleveland, so really that mental error, if you will, on the part of the Fusion there to start this second half off really doesn't affect Cleveland, as they're going to get the ball really right around where they should have to start this second half.
I mean, that's a bullet certainly dodged by the Cleveland Fusion. Now they have to do something with this incredible gift they were handed.
And after this first play, take a look at the defensive statistics for your Pittsburgh Passion through one half of play. Most importantly, goose egg intact. Reardon will get the snap and hand it off. No, she'll keep it on that fake. Faked me out. Did not fake. Lenny's on the field. Smith on the stop there for Pittsburgh.
All right, so in the first half of play for this Pittsburgh Passion defense, you had Niedermeyer with 7 tackles and 1 sack, earning her 15th career sack. Mia Smith with 5 tackles, Radowski with 2 tackles and 1 interception, and Green 4 out of 5 point after attempts.
Pretty impressive both sides of the football there in that first half for Pittsburgh. Second down at 6 from the 32. Reardon gets the step, shovel pass over, and she is absolutely... Kim Zubovic was there immediately and almost took the handoff herself.
98, Kimberly Zubovic.
Tackle for a loss for Zubo. It's third down and 11.
Coming into this game, Matt, she had 20 solo tackles, one of the top 5 leaders for the Pittsburgh Passion thus far this season.
And that is her 6th for a loss on the season. Third down and 11 for the 27. Reardon from the gun. Get the snap. Here comes Zubo, and she was able to break her tackle and then lose the football, and it's a loose ball on the carpet here at West Allegheny, and they're going to unpal them and say Cleveland retains possession. But Kim Zubovic really caused the disruption, and then Niedermeyer came in.
There was just nowhere for Reardon to run where she didn't see all black in her face, and so and it looks like there might have been a new number out there involved in the tackle, 78 Morgan Cross out of 84 Pennsylvania, pride of Cannon McMillan High School.
The Big Macs, fighting cheeseburgers. This one fielded at the 45-yard line on the return. Malarski down the far sideline, and she'll be knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line for Malarski. She caught that on the run, and then a flag came down back at the 36-yard line, and I think this is going to negate an otherwise great return for Ellie Malarski.
Walk in the back. Pittsburgh 45.
This one going to come back.
First down.
Well, despite the block in the back, a tremendous run by Ellie Malarski, a number that we've not seen out there much this year, but showing the potential that she has to shine out there.
Yeah, nice speed down that far sideline.
Hey, you're in trouble. There's still no pizza up there. They're getting too irritated. They said he told you.
First down and 10 from the 50.
First down passing at the 50-yard line.
Looks like we don't have all our personnel on the
Yeah.
field. We've got Samantha Simeon coming in.
It's a keeper by Montgomery. She'll shrug off a tackler, have the 45, the 40, and then out of bounds. Chased out, moving the sticks for the Passion. And she can motor.
At the first down passing. They're marking it to 38.
Moves the sticks for Pittsburgh. First down and 10 now. At the Cleveland 38-yard line. Sidecar to Montgomery's right. Will put it up. Baker's trying to find it. She does. And she finds the end zone for the 4th time tonight. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Oh, wow.
Passion coaches doing their job to keep the Passion players off the field.
Yeah.
Little fisticuffs and going on in the end zone after that play.
Well, that's far for our vantage point, but I think Baker was being kept out by her hair. And was not going to be denied the end zone.
Yeah, she definitely made the touchdown in dramatic fashion of basically tug of war with the ponytail. I'm just not sure who was the first instigator
Right.
of the war of words and war of physicality that then ensued afterwards.
Touchdown. Good. After the play, personal foul. 9, Cleveland. Personal foul. 82, Pittsburgh. They wipe out. Extra point.
Jerry Lavelle with his way of words, saying the penalties wipe out.
The touchdown maker, number 82, Angela Baker.
Angela Baker in for her 4th touchdown of the game, and hard-earned, no question.
Yes. Hopefully she does a lot of neck strengthening exercises as they move forward in the postseason.
You know, we could go through a whole season without seeing plays like that. We've seen 2 of them here tonight. Extra point from Green. Right through the poles. 9:31 to play, and the Passion crossed that ever so important 40-point threshold. It's 41-0 in favor of the homestanding Passion over the Cleveland Fusion. Now just keep that 0 intact.
That's right.
Pittsburgh Passion Football brought to you in part by Silver Sport, keeping sports clean, by UPMC Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Pittsburgh Passion, by Super Donut, #1 in nutrition, more protein, less fat, by Aid Nation, wake up Pittsburgh and hydrate, by Post-Acute Medical, providing high-quality post-acute healthcare services, and by YMCA of Greater Pittsburgh. Be active, be involved, belong.
4th in the season, over 100 for Baker, and 11th career.
With that touchdown, Angela Baker eclipses the 100-yard mark here today, the 4th time on the 2018 season, and I'm being told that's the 11th time in her career.
I was told earlier she scored 2 touchdowns in every game but the DC game 2 weeks ago. And she has 4 here tonight. Out of bounds. Legal procedure call on Pittsburgh, and will give Cleveland good field position. See what they can do with it. Great crowd on hand, and if Passion, I've seen some Snapchats being taken down there. If the Passion get lucky enough to host the playoff game in 2 weeks, gotta come out, support the Passion. Playoff football in the city of Pittsburgh. Of course, you can keep up to date on all things Pittsburgh Passion football on social media. And Harkin's doing a great job today tweeting out the updates. Kozo almost got that pick. Trying to get that ball at the highest point. Incomplete, intended for Brokaw. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it was sorely underthrown. Kozo far better position than Brokaw to come down with the ball. Just couldn't get the timing right. You know, and as it stands now, Matt, if the standings and the Macy ratings don't change, Pittsburgh Passion would be home in 2 weeks, but they would have a tough rematch against the Boston squad.
That was some ball game here earlier this year. That was a fun one, though.
On the play.
Certainly one to come out and see
Yes,
if that's
absolutely.
how it shakes down,
Right.
because it's going to be knockdown, drag out, go to the last second for sure.
Yeah.
First on the tackle.
But if they could somehow hop over the DC Divas in those Massey ratings, then they would be home hosting Atlanta. So we shall see. If Boston, I guess, jumps over them in the Massey ratings today, who Boston is, I think, playing Philadelphia, then the Pittsburgh Passion wouldn't be home at all, and they would have to face Boston away in Boston, which, you know.
We're going to take that snippet and post it on social media so everybody knows the playoff situations here now. Jen, so eloquently describing that. Now I know. Educated now. Full start on Cleveland. Going to move them back on this 3rd down and 10 play. We'll make it 3rd down and 15.
3rd down and 15 yards to go.
Cleveland continuing to take a lot of time in between plays. No hustle to try to get to the line, call any play.
Active pass, will throw, and this time Kozo comes up with the interception. Just had one 2 plays ago. This time she was making sure she got her paws on the football, and Crystal Kozo has herself an INT.
Again, you know, the ball better place for Kozo to come down with it, the intended wide receiver Brokaw, who just doesn't seem to have her timing down with her quarterback Sydney Reardon. I think coming into tonight,
was her 12th interception of her career.
yeah, and at least her 2nd on the season.
Montgomery, throw a sack on the play. Lost back to the 44.
Snap moves him back here to the 44. So Pittsburgh going to have to retreat back here.
Second down and 19.
This one here to the near side. Completed and pushed out of bounds. Malarski hauls it in. Malarski goes down these near sidelines and gets back some of that lost yardage on that over that snap. Third down and 1.
You see a lot of undiscipline on the side of the Fusion with arm tackles, hand tackles. Nobody trying to seemingly engage physically with our runners and ball carriers.
Weaving her way through the defense and going into the end zone for the touchdown. Ariel Smith gets into the end zone. Goes 38 yards. Smith goes the distance.
And making look easy. I mean, as she bursts through the line and turns on the jets, is able to find the end zone in no time. Not a white jersey in sight.
Her 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Green to send it through the pipes. One didn't get there. 47-0. Pittsburgh. 4:45 to go here in the third quarter. Passion in commanding lead. We'll take a break here. Watching Pittsburgh Passion Television.
The Pittsburgh Passion would like to thank UPMC Sports Medicine for being the official medical provider of the Passion since 2003. And welcome to the doctors and the staff and all their families tonight. Thank you, UPMC Sports Medicine. Don't forget, visit the merchandise booth. You'll find all the apparel you need. Passion t-shirts, shorts, polo shirts, sweatshirts, a variety of hats, blankets, six bags, and much more. Also, get your 50 tickets. Green will kick off.
Green to boot this one away. Welcome you back here, and she's going to boot it right over the head of everyone, and this is going to get into the end zone. It's still a live ball. How have they not gone over this?
Part of me is wondering if the official told her it's a live ball.
Yeah, I think he did. Because he kind of pointed to it like,
yeah.
You going to pick that up? Oh, man.
It's one thing to have one of those mental lapses once,
yes.
But you would think then you were like that is now embedded.
Right.
That it doesn't happen the next
Literally the next kickoff. Well, they took a knee and touchback will bring it out to the 20. Yeah, only in high school now is that if the ball at any point crosses the end zone, it would be a touchback, but got to go get it if you're not playing high school ball. And off to Latessa. Quickly brought down, no gain. Caitlin Niedermeyer again causing havoc.
Once again, first on the tackle, Niedermeyer.
And I'm noticing that their original running back, Chambers, now has crutches beside her on the bench over there on the far sideline. So hopefully she can get the treatment she needs when she gets home.
For sure. intercepted, and she can take it to the house with a Passion touchdown. A steal and score for the Passion defense. And was that Ariel Smith again?
26.
No, it was Gabby O'Neill who took it. Gabby O'Neill goes the distance and gets into the end zone for the Passion touchdown.
Gabby O'Neill getting it done all day on special teams as that gunner, and it is just this time as though she, was gunning down the field with the ball in her hand, and she was not to be denied.
Yeah, she took that ball like she was the intended target of that throw and took it in for the steal and score, the extra point.
Good. 54-0. Passion over Cleveland.
Good, 54-0. The Pittsburgh Passion lead it over the Cleveland Fusion. Thanks to the Gabby O'Neill steal and score. Interception, pick six, 54-0. Passion lead it here on the Passion Television Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, get out your 50-50 ticket. Get out your 50-50 ticket. Also, coming up, we'll have the tickets for the movie basket, the football, and the passion basket.
Pittsburgh up 54-0 here in the third quarter. And it was Gabby O'Neill getting it done this time on the defensive being offensive. Jen?
I mean, she is an athlete that has talents that are available on all sides of the ball. Last year, she spent a lot of time playing running back. She's been getting it done on special teams all year long, and now she's showing you she can play a little bit of DB.
Covered by number 80, Donatica Gardner. First down for the Passion.
Becomes the first Passion player in the 150-game history to return a punt, a kick, and an interception for a touchdown.
4-0-5.
And the history books continue to be written.
2-8-4-0-5.
It'd be interesting to see how many NFL players
Honestly,
say that.
that's a good one too.
Yeah.
8-2-2-8-4-0-5.
I couldn't imagine that list is very long. Or a list.
First down, Cleveland.
Handoff there goes to Latessa. She's been the ball carrier, steady workload for her, but it's been in game of inches for her more than yards. Passion defense swarming the ball carrier here tonight.
Well, Passion defense being a little bit stingier than the DC Divas. It looks like New York has finally got on the board against them with 6 points.
Okay.
So anything we can do to jump ahead of them would be tremendous for the postseason.
Shovel pass to Latessa. Oh man, breaking that one up in the backfield. Is that Mashanti Smith there? Breaking that one up, I think.
That's the number I saw too there.
Loss of 5, 3rd and 15.
Tackle for the loss on the play by 45. Kelsey Edmonds.
Making 3rd and 14. back at the 10-yard line.
Ball at the 15.
Back to pass, in a bunch of trouble. Puts this one up and nearly coming down with it. Just couldn't hang on. Brokaw here on the near sideline. Didn't look like she knew where she was, and she had a little bit more room than she thought she did, but pass goes incomplete and ends quarter number 3. 3 quarters in the books from West Allegheny, and it's the Pittsburgh Passion 54, the Cleveland Fusion nothing. Come back for the 4th and final chapter of this one here on Pittsburgh Passion Television.
Merchandise booth, you get a pre-game program to be used for autographs. At this time, all the kids in the stand are welcome to go to the merchandise booth, get a pre-game program that you can use for autographs. All right, get out your basket tickets. There'll be 3 baskets, 3 numbers. Get out your basket tickets. For the movie basket, 3, 5, 6, 5, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 6, 2. For the football, 3, 5, 6, 5, 9, 0. 3, 5, 6, 5, 9, 0. And for the passion basket, 3, 5, 6, 4, 9, 6. 3, 5, 6, 4, 9, 6. Go to the merchandise booth and claim your basket.
Welcome back to West Allegheny. And the Passion will get the football to start this as it's a muff punt picked up by Malarski, and here comes Malarski with some blockers in front of her. Breaks a tackle, and Malarski rolled down at the 30-yard line. Great return
Number 23.
for Ellie Malarski at a Slippery Rock University.
And this one's not coming back, so she gets to keep all that yardage on her stat sheet.
First down passes.
2 for 2 on good returns for her.
Reminder, all kids in attendance, please go to the merchandise booth. You'll get a
Pittsburgh Passion football brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Pittsburgh Passion. Aid Nation, wake up Pittsburgh and hydrate. First down and 10 for the Passion. Back to work goes Emily Montgomery. We'll pitch it out. This is Ariel Smith who got the touchdown run.
Tackled by number 22.
Loses a yard or 2.
Reminder, if you have the number on one of the baskets, take your
Second down and 13 upcoming here for the Passion. I don't think there's any secret, Jen. Atlanta probably would be the one team you would like to play if you had your choice.
Second down and 13.
Although it's always good to play a team you know well, right? So
Right.
Atlanta, they don't know about or know so intimately and would be learning about them on film. Boston, they know where they're strong and they know where they're weak. But the reverse is also true.
No gain on the play. Third down.
That game here earlier this year was a absolute great one. I suggest going back and watching it if you haven't seen it. Go back and watch it on YouTube. It's pretty impressive, pretty fun game to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, 2 top-notch teams with superstar athletes just showcasing their talents and gifts.
Hand off there, thrown back. That was
O'Neal brought down on the
Abby
play
O'Neal.
by Veronica Rucker.
And it brings up 4th down for the Passion. And it was like a heavyweight fight. It was just Pittsburgh would strike and Boston would come right back, and Pittsburgh would be able to deliver a punch. Then there would be a turnover and another turnover to outdo them. It was a fantastic game and a fun one.
I mean, the mental toughness just exuded by both teams
Yeah.
alone for how many times the momentum had changed.
And there's a handoff to the left side. Courtney Storr off the left side, her first carry of the evening. And she's inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. It will not be enough for a first down. It will be a turnover on downs. Cleveland will get the ball back.
Courtney Storr is someone we normally see on the defensive side of the ball as a linebacker, and so she's staying out there. She's getting her first taste of playing both sides of the ball after just carrying that last down for the Pittsburgh offense. Now she's taking her spot in the linebacker corps.
Cleveland offense back out on the field, and it's a 1st and 10 for them at the 24-yard line. Handoff again goes to Latessa. She stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Touchdown for a loss.
Like 65, Amanda Coles for the Passionate on that stop. Looks like she has a cheering section in attendance too.
She does. And she's playing against her native Ohioans. She's from Wellsville, Ohio.
Made the right choice.
Clearly. I don't think she'd want to be on the other side of this game right now.
2nd down and 12 from the 22. Another handoff, and this time Julie Ianta comes up to make the stop out of Newcastle. Another Slippery Rock University. Not a Slippery Rock pipeline.
We do. It started with Lisa Horton and has continued on.
Third down and 13 now for Cleveland. Back at the 21-yard line. 54-0 our score if you just tuned in or
3rd down and 13.
moved your browser up ahead. Third down and 13 from the shotgun formation, a sidecar to the left. Latessa again gets the call, and oh my goodness, Tia Montgomery. Introduce yourself.
Tia Montgomery and Latessa have been playing against each other for many, many years. Latessa has been on the team, gosh, since at least 2007. She was a powerhouse back then. She's still, I'm imagining, providing veteran leadership on the Fusion.
11-year vet. That's...
Remember watching lots of film on her.
4th down and 13. And the punt is blocked! Blocked by Pittsburgh, and they're going to get it inside the 10-yard line. And it was Tia Montgomery. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage wasn't enough. She wanted to get her paws on the football on special teams and blocks that football in the Silver Sports Silver Zone. First time tonight the Passion will start a drive inside the Silver Sports Silver Zone. Offense right back to work and short field to work with, and that's been the MO all night.
It has been, and now I'm trying to take a close look at that huddle to see what new numbers we might see coming in. Wadowski is coming in on offense. We've seen her on defense thus far tonight. Gabby O'Neill's still in there.
Veronica Burris lines up opposite of Wadowski. Malarski, the slot receiver, they give it off to O'Neill, and O'Neill gets slung down. And marker out at down at the 8.
Damon's back in.
Second down and goal from the 8. Motion is Malarski. Pitch out to O'Neal. O'Neal's going to try to get to the pylon in the corner of the end zone. She's hit again. Gabby O'Neal. Offense, defense, and she scores either way. Pittsburgh Passion back on the board. And was there a flag down there? No. Gabby's in for a touchdown.
New offensive line that outpaced Wales.
And there were some new offensive line numbers out there that helped pave the way for Gabby O'Neal. Number 75, Erica Shoecraft. Number 63, Michelle Smiley. Number 77, Caitlin Niedermeyer, who's switching sides of the ball there. Number 62, Emily Shea. And number 78, Morgan Cross.
6:08 left to play the game.
Well, Erica, a Coriopolis native, went to Cornell High School. Got her family in attendance tonight. And how about Gabby O'Neal? Doing it all herself here. She's been able to cross off, getting in on the special teams plays, making defensive plays on the pick 6, and now turning offensive.
She's making full use of every opportunity that she's getting to touch the turf here tonight. For sure.
And that's kind of like, Gabby isn't, she's being able to step up in her role and make it count. And that's what you need to do in these situations where you get an opportunity and maybe you show the coaches something that they didn't know that they had. And she's certainly making good of all those opportunities.
She's certainly a powerful runner. She showed that both in the interception pick 6 as well as in the scoring drive just then. She's a hard hitter, which we've seen multiple times from the gunner roll on special teams.
As the Passion gets set to kick this one off, I'll pose this question to you, and we'll get an answer after the kickoff. Been a part of a handful of these 150 games in Pittsburgh Passion history, and of course, the national championships have to stick out. But besides those, is there any moment or game or play that sticks out in your memory as one of your favorite in the 150? You could go back to your playing days because I feel like that's where you're going to go, but you can count it up here in the booth too if you want. Received at the 25-yard line. Brokaw broke a tackle, broke another one, and for a third time was not to be denied. And we'll have good field position here for Cleveland with under 5 minutes to play in regulation, 61-0.
Let me give you my answer, but it comes down to our biggest rival, the DC Divas. I mean, we had beat them once at home that season, and then they were clinging to the fact that they were undefeated at home, and they had maybe a 16-game run streak of that. So when we went to meet them the second time, it was a hard-fought game, and I felt we were getting homered a bit with some of the calls coming our way, but there was nothing sweeter than that game at the end, riding through the ups and downs of the good calls, bad calls, and breaking that streak. So there you go.
Well, breaking the 16-game streak for the DC Divas. Always comes down to rivalry games.
It does.
It really does.
You want to beat the best, right?
Absolutely. First down at 10 for Cleveland. And Brokaw is going to get a call here. And Hannah Damon, happy birthday. Knifing into that and bringing her down behind the line of scrimmage.
Little cowbell breaking out. I don't know if you can hear that through our microphones, but it's always fun and festive here.
Need a prescription, right?
There you go, for more cowbell.
Second down at 14, back at the 44 after the Hannah Damon tackle. If you missed the beginning part of the broadcast, celebrating her 21st birthday. And wants to do nothing more than keep that 0 intact for the Pittsburgh Passion defense. Fans are still in it. Passion well ahead, but defense chant in full effect. And the Passion stack her up.
Looks like number 71, Monica Richards out of Monroeville, PA, and Gateway High School. the one who stood her up.
Connor.
Brings up 3rd down and 14 back at the 44 as we're under 3 minutes to go. Well, I think, Jen, safe to say it will be win 116 in Passion history.
Yes, it will.
Also on the stop, Cole.
116 and 46. That is
3rd down.
It
mind-boggling.
is. It's a legacy. I mean,
And there's so many people on and off the field between the white lines that have made it possible. As this one is underthrown. Does she make the catch? She did not.
and I think we'd be remiss if, again, she hates when I mention her name, so I'm going to do it anyway, but we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that as both a player and a coach, those 115 wins, Teresa Kahn had a lot to do with them.
No question about it. Just, you see the people that she surrounds herself with, and that's, I mean, isn't that what makes a person? I mean, it's really remarkable what she has put together and what has made it possible to accomplish everything that this team has done. And like someone in that position, to always push the credit in opposite directions of herself. But it's fun to watch. It really is. It's been fun to watch over the years. And I don't know. I don't know about you, but there's those championship teams. There's those feels, and it has that feel this year. It certainly has that feel.
It certainly does. I mean, it started with the Boston win. It started with the hanging on to win the DC game here. You know, and every good championship run has some drama in it. So to go and lose at DC and it be a tight game is just the spur in your side that you need to not get complacent. And so I think they're ready, and I think there is going to be a deep run to the national championship game for this Pittsburgh Passion team.
Under a minute to go. Passion have gone into the greatest formation in football, victory formation. This is the first shutout since 2016 when they shut out the Cleveland Fusion at Slippery Rock University. Slippery Rock hosting the Passion. Passion go to 10-0 here at West Allegheny. They have never lost here as their home field. And 10-3 overall in the Cleveland-Pittsburgh rivalry. And shutout number 47.
Take it. On the way to shutout 50, right?
Right.
You have to get
On the
those
way, right.
round numbers. We like round numbers here.
Well, if they get shutout 50, they'll be holding up a trophy. So I'll take win. I'll take 3 more wins. But final score here tonight, 61-0. Your Pittsburgh Passion come back home after the bye week, and they deliver in front of the home crowd, 61-0 over their rivals from Lake Erie. You said it off the air, Jen, before we went on. These two teams met back in 2007 in the playoff semifinals for a right to go to the championship game. Cleveland was riding high on some pretty big wins, and Pittsburgh Passion knocked off Cleveland. Cleveland really hadn't been back into the postseason since then, and the Passion really haven't looked back since then.
No, I mean, it's like one of those things, like you get over one of those hurdles and prove it can be done, and the Passion just burst through those hurdles thereafter. I mean, I remember being on the field that day, and it was a hard-fought match. But then, as you saw, that the game was going to go in our favor, and the DJ started playing Rocky Mount, Tennessee, which the game was going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, and just that excitement, it sticks with you. And I think that the veterans that carried the team forward from there for those years were not about to take a step backwards. Every time we've, sort of defeated one of those teams, it's been, whether it was Baltimore, whether it was Cleveland.
Ladies and gentlemen, please drive
We just
safely
believe
on
we
your
can do
way
it
home.
again and again.
Well, great win for the Pittsburgh Passion here tonight, 61-0. I thought Montgomery filled in admirably here tonight to the injured Lisa Horton. Excited to get her back out on the field for the postseason, I am sure. And just then, Gabby O'Neill, I feel like kind of sticks out to me as one of the people that stepped up in this game and delivered what needed to be delivered at the time it did, too.
Yeah, Gabby O'Neill coming up, playing when her number was called and playing well, contributing in a way that can't go unnoticed by us or others, and so she's certainly a tool in the toolbox as we move forward here into the postseason.
But we said it time and time again, you never know who's going to be stepping up game in and game in, week in and week out for this Pittsburgh Passion team, and it really makes them a force to be reckoned with because you never know who can step up in those game situations. But, now it's looking on to the playoffs, and it's win and continue or lose and you wrap up your season. So things get a little bit more intense. Mm-hmm. Do you get that feeling as a player? Does it feel that way that, really, second down and 5 in the second quarter of a regular season game really doesn't mean that much in the grand scheme of things, but it can in the postseason?
Oh, sure. Anytime it's win or go home, there's that extra pressure from the first snap of the ball because you realize that, you don't have that next week to make a difference or brush that loss off, learn from it, and grow from it. Like, this is a be-all, end-all. And so that's why you need veterans like Lisa Horton under center and veterans on the field who know that, who've been there, who've played through tough matches in playoff games before and can bring the newer, the greener playoff athletes up to that level and say, look, this is the mindset we have to have from first snap.
We talked to Caitlin Niedermeyer last broadcast, and she said, great group of rookies and great mixture of veterans, and that mixture, that recipe needs to gel, and she said it has gelled so well, and it's proven so between the white lines this year, and been fun to watch.
Yeah, it starts from preseason training camp, right? It starts at the retreats. This is more about putting your best 11 athletes on the field at any given time. It's about culture. It's about character, and they protect the Pittsburgh Passion have protected that above and beyond anything, and which speaks volume to the success of the team. And while they're able to say goodbye to talent and integrate new talent year in and year out, and this just feels like a special year.
Certainly does. 61-0, the final score. The Passion wrap up their regular season 2018 campaign on a winning note, and with wins over Cleveland, Boston, DC, Detroit, Columbus, Toledo, and once again Cleveland, they head into the postseason. And of course, we'll have you all covered for Pittsburgh Passion playoff football once again, like we always do. And of course, our postgame is coming up next. I believe our postgame interview will be coming up next. But for Jen Cairns and our entire Pittsburgh Passion television crew, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for watching, and keep tuned in as the Pittsburgh Passion are headed back to the postseason. Thanks for watching. Our postgame interviews here outside of West Allegheny Stadium brought to you by Super Donut, #1 in nutrition. Asenet Rodriguez joining us along with Tia Montgomery. Our postgame interviews, the Passion win it 61-0 over the Cleveland Fusion and wrap up the regular season in the right way. Ladies, has to feel good to finish off the regular season, that bye week, and coming off the bye week to get a win here tonight.
Yeah, that's what you do. But you take that bye week and you work hard, as we did. It doesn't matter if we off or not. You got to work hard. Still do the same thing as if it was, a game that we went all the way through. So,
was there anything said after the DC loss to kind of refocus and retool? It was the first loss of the year, to maybe figure out things and retool and get ready for this game 2 weeks later?
We just had to prep as much as we can. We did a lot of film, studied what we did wrong, what we could correct, make better, and had to execute during practice so we could show what we can perform on the field.
This has to be fun. It just seems like this team is so plug and play. You never know who's going to be able to step up the right time and in the right moment. Is that fun for you guys to know that that anyone could step up at any point, and that it's really not a superstar-related team, just that everybody is able to step up and make big-time plays at any moment?
Oh, absolutely. That's what fuels for you to go hard at practice and go hard when you're in the game. You never want to let up. You always know that your teammate got your back. If you're in first and you got your person behind you, to know that there's never, ever going to be a moment where it's going to be a slow play. That's the best thing. That's what fuels us. We push each other up to make sure that everybody do what we need to do.
Are the veterans able to help you in any way, and how do they work with you, or how does that work? What is that dynamic like?
Well, they don't go easy on us, but it definitely makes us better. Like, I wouldn't want to go against anybody else. If they took it light, then I wouldn't be getting better. So.
All right, so the Pittsburgh Passion are headed back to the postseason. Such is life if you're a Pittsburgh Passion player, but the championship, of course, is out there. What's the mindset and the focus going in, knowing that could be Boston back here in 2 weeks? You know how crazy of a game that was the first time that you played. What's the mindset going into to the postseason and potentially Boston in a few weeks?
It's the same mindset as we always had. You take the game step by step, play by play, and we do our game. We do not lower the bar. We raise the bar. It's playoff time, so we definitely got to raise the bar a little higher and go a little stronger than like we normally do.
Feel the same way?
I agree 100%.
All right, I have to ask you guys this. I don't know if you know, but tonight was the 150th game in Pittsburgh Passion history. Tonight was. It's the 116th win in Pittsburgh Passion history and the 47th shutout in Pittsburgh Passion history. Just keep writing the record books. How does that feel to be a part of such an iconic franchise in women's football?
Oh, man, it's fantastic to set bars, set everything, to be a part of everything, because when you get older and you look back, it's going to be, I paved that road for you guys, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to be out there with the alumni and everything else one day, and it feels great to be a part of everything, and the sisters that we got on the team. It's perfect.
Being a newcomer, it has to feel a little bit different to know what has been paved for you to be a part of this Pittsburgh Passion team, but now to be a part of it and know what the expectation and the standards that have been set.
I wouldn't have chosen to be a part of any other team. I'm glad the expectations are high, so they want more from us. They expect more from us, even as rookies. They'll push us as hard as they can so we can, like, meet up to the veteran level, or at least try to.
Well, ladies, thank you so much. Congratulations on a win and finishing off the regular season on the right note. Pittsburgh Passion getting set for the postseason coming up. And, of course, you'll be able to see it right here on Pittsburgh Passion Television. Thanks to John Brown and his entire staff. As always, you've been watching Pittsburgh Passion Television. They win it today, 61-0 over the Cleveland Fusion. I'm Matt Fargo, and thanks for watching Pittsburgh Passion Television.